emmy-lou here. Today I want to show you how to draw a peacock. I'm going to be using chalk pastel. Like and subscribe because I'm going to be trying to do 1 or 2 a week, so I think it'll be really cool. So all you're going to need is pencil and you need a paper. So I'm going to use pen, but just pencil, paper. Let's start. We're going to do landscape. So it's going to be this way up the paper. So portrait would be like that way up. Well, we're going to do it this way today. So all you're going to need to do is just with your pencil, maybe press lighter and then you can press harder when we really want to do a lot of it. So we're going to start off with, you're going to do a big egg. So just think quite a large egg. If you're not quite sure how to go round something, so if you think, oh, I can't draw a circle or an egg shape, if you go around it more than once, then you sort of get what you want. So don't worry if it doesn't look exactly like an egg, it doesn't matter. And then you want to touch the bit of the egg there and just go down and it comes out. Can you see? It's like out. Then you want to do the other side. So we're going to touch the egg there and you're going to go. This is going to be the head. If you go to Whipsnade Zoo in England, they've got the peacocks running around. It's just so cool. It's almost like they're wild. It's really cool. So we're going to touch this bit here and you're going to go like this. You're going to sort of almost pretend it's like egg for a minute and that you're chopping a little bit of it off. So you're going to go. Don't know if you can see what I've done there. I'll do that and then I'll rub out what I've done so you can see it. So you can see it. So what I've done is I've kind of created a chunk out of it's like almost like a bite mark, but it's not. If you can't do that, you could do this. You could just do the egg and then you could just do that, kind of like just like that if you wanted to, or just cut it like that and just go around it. But try and do that shape because it looks quite cool. Then what we're going to do is do a beak. So the beak is, if you just think about just about there, so it's probably like a bit lower than the middle, as in right in the middle of the egg. And you're just going to do this. Whoop. So it's all it is it's like, think of it like an upside down V, isn't it? So just draw and then go down. So you're going down till you hit that bit. If you're not quite sure, doesn't matter. Just do any beak you like, it's fine. And then we're just going to touch that bit there and we're going to go down a bit. Then what I want to do is it's a little bit like dot to dot. We're just going to go, oh. You don't have to, oh, with me, but you know, feel free. Then we're going to do an eye. Now, I want to keep it simple, but I'm going to do like an egg shape eye. It's all about the eggs today. And you won't see the other eye on the other side, but I'm going to do, if you can't see what I've just done, I just did a line and a line. So I just did this. So say like that's the head. I just did kind of like a C. Doesn't actually matter. You could just do the eye. You could just do a circle. But the only reason I did that and then that was because I need to do this line up here as well. Think of it like it's like an eyebrow, isn't it? You could do it higher if you prefer. I think mine's a little bit squiffy, isn't it? And then whatever eye you like. I like cartoon eyes, but you can do any eye you like. And then what we're going to do. So I quite like when you do a different shape on the face. So we're just going to touch the eye and you're going to draw almost like a banana shape. Then you've got another line. Looks a little bit like markings on his face, like his tribal. Looks kind of cool. But you're going to do a line there and a line there. So it's just where his eye is. We're just doing 2 little lines. Then we need to do the beak, but before we do the actual beak, you need to rub out whatever's in the beak. So, rub-a-dub. And do you know what we could do as well? We could rub out, let's rub out this as well, because we don't actually need that anymore. There we are. It's looking like a pheasant actually at the moment. I've seen them everywhere at the moment. They're all over the place. If I go for a walk in the woods, they just fly out of nowhere. Right, this is quite a fun bit to do, this bit. We're going to wait for it to dry. But if you just lightly do a dot there, just really, really lightly, I might do it chunky just for you to see it. Then what we want to do is pretend it's like a sunshine. So all the lines are going to come out from here. So we're going to go like this. Float, float, float. Draw. You want to do float, float, float. Draw. I'm saying float because I don't want to draw onto the peacock. So what you can do is, instead of drawing on the peacock, just float over, then draw. So as soon as you get past the head. Now, I can't do this bit because I want to show you something kind of cool. I might just do there though. Right, that's got a bit squiggly, that one. Okay, what I want to show you is just do a line like that, just where its back is, where its neck is. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do this. Think of them as hills or mountains. And they have to kind of interlock, which just means they have to, almost like a brick wall. Oh, so easy. Ah, yeah, it's too easy to get confused, but if you do, it doesn't matter. Right, and then once you've done that, you don't have to do the whole thing because we're going to rub out that, because all that was a guideline. So I'm going to rub out the guideline in the beginning that we did, because all it was there was to help me. But you can keep it in if you prefer. It depends how you want it to look. It keeps moving today. I'm not quite sure why. Should we do it up like that? Right. Now we're going to do. Remember we did the dot there? So we're going to go la 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 la. Just don't want to get my pen dirty. La 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 la. No. La 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 la. Right, so these are the feathers ultimately of when he sort of displays his amazing kind of back. So we've got really beautiful, beautiful patterns on here. So we want to make these quite chunky, but not, you don't want a great big tree trunk, but you want them to have some thickness. So just draw a line next to it. Mine's gone a bit wobbly, but should be okay. Now, you don't have to, if you don't want to, you don't have to touch all the sides. I quite like when you just sort of disappears, so you don't have to touch the sides, but it would be massive, it'd be huge. So what we're going to do is you decide where you want these beautiful patterns in the feathers to be. So I'm doing them anywhere. I'm literally doing them. It's quite nice to use your thoughts of, does this feel right? Because to me, if it doesn't feel right, I won't do it. So if I'm drawing that and I think, don't really like that, then I won't draw it. So don't copy exactly where my feathers are. You can if you like, but if you feel like, don't like that, then do it your own way. So still do these, but do these feathery bits everywhere. So it's like the peacock, it's the eye, they call it, isn't it? The feather. So what we want to do is, you don't really want these lines inside here. So I'm going to rub them out. So That's what's good about drawing those eggs where there isn't a line. But I'm just gonna rub out whatever's in the eggs. It's gonna take a bit of time, but don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. Look. I mean, I guess you could draw the eggs first, and then when you do the lines, you could have just gone over the egg. That might have been a better thing, isn't it? So what I meant by that is we could have done that circle there, but then just put eggs wherever I like, and then done the lines. So when I hit the egg, just float over. But it's up to you. I think as long as it's roughly like that, it will look cool. So I'll go back to the beak now, because we're nearly finished drawing it, and then we're going to colour it in. So the beak, if you just touch that bit there, that's like the pointy bit, and you just want to go, do a shape a bit like a fish hook, and then a line. So fish hook and a line, it just makes the nose look a little bit more interesting. Then what I want to do, these bits are going to be beautiful greens. It's going to be really cool. I've got to wait for this stuff to dry, but while we're doing it, feathers, just so you know they're feathers, and it gives you an idea, just draw. You don't have to draw every single one in, but it's a good idea to do a few, because otherwise it might look a bit odd. So I look at them as V's almost. And what I mean by that, I mean it's like that, isn't it? Like that, but I like doing them here and there. Ah, there's quite a few, isn't there? I find it easier doing one side first, like that, and then doing the other one, but it's whatever you prefer, really. Okay, so that is, I was going to call my chicken. I was going to say that's my feathery chicken. That is my peacock, and once this is dry, I can show you what to do with the beautiful patterns. Oh, do you know what? I could probably... No, I won't do it yet. Right, so chalk. Now, you can choose anything. You don't need to have just chalk. But I like chalk, obviously. I always use chalk, but I love it. They're getting a bit messy, my pot of chalks. So you don't have to have a peacock that's peacock colours. You could have completely different. You could do a pink peacock with red feathers or something. So what I'm going to do is decide. I think I might go for green and blues, but I still want to draw these bits in. I was just waiting for them to dry. Because what you want to do is draw around. This is a really simple version of doing it, by the way. If you wanted to take your time, you could just, you know, do it a lot more carefully than me. Then I've done circles. Can you see I'm doing circles inside? Actually looks like an egg now. Then, inside the egg, just a line, because we're going to colour it differently. If you didn't see that, I'll do it big just to show you. So what I've done is, there's the egg. You do an outline, then you go circle, then you do that. Let's go with the pastel. Okay, right. I'm gonna pick a blue and a green. So hang on, I've just got to, because I've got 4 boxes here, so I'm just going to decide which box to use. I'm going to get a dark blue. Can you see that? But everything else is quite greeny, but I don't want to make it too messy. So I'm going to get a dark blue, but then I'm going to get 2 different greens, I think. So I'm going to get a dark and a light green. Can you see it? Right, this is what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to take the lightest colour because I don't want my fingers to get too messy. So I'm going to get green, and I'm going to do it quite generously. So I'm not going to be too scared. I'm just going to go really chunky around the lines of the feathers. I forgot what it was called. You can do it in any colour you like I said. If it's red, it might look a bit like a turkey though. I might stick with blues and greens maybe, but I don't know, maybe a pink would be nice. Right, so we've done that. And a nice thing about a peacock is it looks so bright and beautiful. So I'm going to get on one finger. That's a bit messy now. And I'm just going to smudge inside a little bit. I don't want to smudge too much. So I'm just doing that. I'm not going la 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 la. I'm just doing it really quick. Like not quickly, but very... I'm not smudging much. Just a little bit. Because I still want to see the chunky lines around these bits. And then I'm going to get my dark green. And I'm going to do... I'm going to go round just some of them. Not that many. Just going to choose maybe like, can you see just there? And I'm going to smudge these in. The more you smudge, the more it looks cool. But I don't want to do it for all of them. I don't really feel like I need to either. So we're going to go. Right, these bits are kind of light because the feathers are so dark. So I'm going to get... I love the idea of purple though. Well, do you know what we're going to do? Let's do these first because I'm trying to find colours that match what I want. Right, I am going to get a yellow and an orange. I think it's a bit fuzzy that one, isn't it? Yellow, orange, and we've got dark green and blue. What I'll do is I'll do it now just so you can see. The tops is yellow and... I mean, I'm just using them together, which I would never normally do, but it seems to work quite well. Okay, so that's your yellow and your red, your yellow and your orange. Then I'm going to get my darkest blue. So this is my darkest blue. Yeah, you can see it. Right, let's see. I'm going to colour all this circle in. Dark blue. Dark blue. You've got to ignore my Tipp-Ex because that's where the white bits are going to be and we don't need to have those. Okay. Right, there's my blue. Then let's get a cool white blue. I love the idea of purple though, I just said that, didn't I? The light blue is going to go, you know, underneath that circle bit where there's a line. It's going to go there. If you've done it by accident where you coloured the whole thing in, just make it up, make the line up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be that perfect with the colours. And then we're going to get a green. All this is green. Just remind me of eggs, don't they? Right, okay, now we obviously need to smudge because at the moment they're a bit strange. So what you could do is smudge the green first with your finger, just go over it. And then I've got a green finger, just wiping it on my apron because you do not want to have dirty hands to do the yellow. Ideally, oh man, ideally do the yellow first because look, it's gone a bit mucky now, mine. If I make the mistake for you, then you can hopefully learn by me. So I'm just smudging the blue now, just a little bit. Don't want too much. And I'm completely covered in it now. We may need to wash our hands, depending on if you're super messy or not. You could go wash your hands. I probably would. And then get a dark green. Dark green. Just going to outline the outside of the egg. Not the inside, just the outside. Whew. Then, one little finger. I mean, obviously, if you're not using chalk, you can paint this. Paint it exactly the same colours, you know. Right, now I'm super green. And I'm going to do blue. Now I'm going to take my brightest blue, I think it's this one. And I'm going to colour the whole of the face. Sorry, I can't stop singing. I call it singing, but I'm not sure if it really is. Right, just don't be scared, just colour the whole. I say don't be scared because I think I'm a little bit worried that I've coloured the whole thing in. Right, all there is blue, especially for you. Woo! A lot of chalk. Okay, blue is all good. We've done the blue. Now I'm going to get black. Yours is going to look amazing because mine's got a lot of Tipp-Ex of rubbing stuff out. That's my excuse. You see where I'm putting on the black? So I've got the black. I'm putting it here and there. Now, if I want the beak to look more like a beak, you obviously go around the, well not obviously, but you go around the eyes. You could outline it actually. Should we outline it? Let's outline the whole beak. Outline around the head and the neck. Then get your magic finger. Just the one, because otherwise if you do that it's too messy. And we're just gonna smudge or blend. What you want to do is whatever you've drawn around, just go around with your finger. Now remember, yours is going to look really nice because you're not going to have the Tipp-Ex-y bits. Right, now I'm blue. Now I'm blue and green. We're going to now do the feathers. Now, this is when it becomes quite interesting because it doesn't have to be green, it doesn't have to be blue. You could do pinks, purples. I've got a bit of purple in mine. I like the idea. So this is where you can just choose. You can take your time with this. You can do it with paint. You just want to make sure these bits are white. I mean, it doesn't matter if you go over them a bit. Most of them are green, the feathers, but you know, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Break tradition. It's nice to do something a little bit different. But if you want to just do green, you can just do green. You can just do light and dark green, might be nice. I mean, I don't really know what this is going to look like until I finish it. Yeah, what I do is I do it, and then if I think, then I can go over bits. I'm taking a light green now. I'm just filling in some gaps because it's going to be more feathers and green. So all I'm doing is filling in gaps. You want to keep it so it's feathery. If you've lost your pencil line, go over with the green here. So add them in, because I don't need to because I've got my black marker pen, haven't I? But if you've lost the lines of the feathers, just add them in with the green pastel. I'll add them in anyway, just so you can see them. Whew, it's like a workout with my arms. Okay, right. Then, if you wanted to, you could smudge. So just smudge a little bit. I wouldn't go too much because it can get a little bit all blocky. You don't want it to look like there's no difference between them all. So I'm just really lightly, I'm almost not pressing hard. I'm just mixing them in a little bit. Okay, and then if I've lost my lines for this, then I could probably actually, I could get a rubber and I could just do this. I could just rub out, I don't know if I need to really, but I could rub out to create white for the lines of the feathers, as in the big long bit. And if you don't want to do that, you could just go over with some white paint perhaps. But to make it stand out, I want to get black and maybe draw them in. I don't know if you need to, it depends how you feel about it. I don't know if I need to really, you know you're not sure. That's it really, let's have a look. It does look quite nice actually with the black. I'd probably get the black and perhaps you could outline quite a lot of things, couldn't you, in black? It does look nice when you get black and outline bright things. So you have a go yourself, see how you get on. And as I say, like and subscribe. We'll be doing 1 a week, if not 2. And let me know what you want me to do, because it's nice to do it knowing that you've asked me to do it. Because I get a lot of requests. I'm trying to work my way through them. So let me know what you want to do. What you might want to do is get a white. I'm going to do a little white bobble where the eye is, just so it looks a bit more interesting. And then voila, there is my peacock. I feel like the feathers are nice, but they're not as bright as they could be. So I'd probably, I'd probably go around them, just trying to. I think I'd probably fiddle with it for a couple of hours trying to go around stuff, because it's nice to just take your time, isn't it? So you have a go yourself. And like I said, paint is fine. Doesn't need to be chalk, but I love chalk. And then send me in your picture, because I'd love to see them. Ooh, and let's sign it. So get your pastel, whatever you're using, and then just sign your name. There we go. I'm just thinking I'll probably just keep adding to it. I'm putting some light because it's got a certain, the feathers just look really quite shiny. So if you put a little bit of white on top here and there, it kind of looks quite cool. But yeah, let me know how you get on and I shall see you soon. Bye.